The content you're about to enjoy comes from the archives of The Best You. We're devoted to the very best in personal development. With a magazine and resources dedicated to inspiring and changing people's lives, at The Best You, we work with the world's leading writers and trainers on the evolution of the self, and people whose journeys have been affected by their work and words. For more information, go to www.thebestyou.co.
Beautiful people! Hello, would everybody do me a favour? Please stand up. Just put your stuff down. Everybody stand up. Lift your arms in the air, have a big stretch. I bet you've walked loads today. A little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. And I want you to turn around and say hello, everyone. Say welcome here, everybody. Okay, now this is put your hands back up. This is the most important part. Do this. Close your eyes. Feel your heartbeat. Give yourself a big hug and say, welcome here, me. To this life. To this body. To this moment right now. Take a big breath in. Oh. And give your heart a little rub and say, well done, me. For being here. Right now. Thank you. Say thank you, me. I love you, me. Well done. Can you take that in? Don't let it ring around in your head or waft around not knowing where to do. Breathe those words in. I love you, me. Can you let that love connect back to yourself? Now just feel that for a moment. Just spend a moment feeling if you really allow yourself to genuinely be connected to you, to who you really are inside. All walls down. Okay, take a deep breath. And take a seat. Thank you so much for doing that. I am a big believer that everything happens for a divine reason. Does anybody else in the room feel like that? Huh? Can you put your hands up if you feel like that? That's pretty much everyone. So not only do I think that you're in this room right now with me for a divine reason, more importantly, that you're in this body, in this life, at this time right now for divine reason. What do you think? Do you agree with me? There's some divine reason why you were born, why you specifically are here. And I'm also a big believer, in fact, I'm going to say I'm a knower of the most powerful force in the universe. What's the most powerful force in this universe? I want you to say it with me. What's the most powerful force in this universe? Love. Oh, did you hear that? Say it again. What's the most powerful force in the universe? Love. Every single person in here knows that. That's the truth, right? I don't need to tell you about that. You already know. But what I do understand is that we go looking for love everywhere. That absolutely every single thing we do, every single day, that the underlying motivation is to go and find that love. Whether it's from our parents, whether it's from our partners, whether it's from our kids, our job, our colleagues, our pets, we're all looking to be validated, for someone to see who we really are, to connect with us, and to love, to drop into that same place of unconditional love. Do you know what I'm talking about? We all need that, don't we? So, when we go looking for it, and we don't find it, we get disappointed, we get let down, our little hearts get broken. It can be pretty lonely. It can be pretty disappointing. Now, I know that every single person in this room, in one way or another, usually our childhood, not always, but generally our childhood, we have not found the love that we were looking for. We did not get met, we did not get seen, we did not get heard or validated for who we are. And we didn't get that love in exactly the right way, at exactly the right time, by exactly the right person. And it leaves holes, it leaves gaps. So to cut a long story short, I'm here to help you, if you want to know how, to, instead of looking for love, not finding it, getting battered around, getting lost, getting broken, to try and get that love back to you, how to take a shortcut and do the most radical consciousness shifting thing, the most responsible thing you can do on this planet, which is to connect to yourself and love yourself unconditionally. Are you up for hearing about that? Yeah? So who believes in self-love already? Please raise your hand. Thank you. Can you just turn around with each other? Keep your hands in the air. I want you to all recognize and turn around and look at everybody else in this space. And I want you to turn to the person next to you and go, you're in the right place. You know why? Because we're all in the same boat right here, aren't we? We all believe in love as the most powerful force in the universe. Say yes. Yes. And we all believe that self-love is what? Absolutely key. It is the most important thing you can do. Yes? Yes. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about me, why I'm standing up here wearing a suit for the first time in my life ever. I don't normally look this smart, but I came here because I wanted to share with you something that I found has had, I can't even describe it. It's so profound and yet so simple and so humble and so real and so beautiful that if you knew about it, you would just be doing it every day. And it's about you, not me. I'm just here to share a message. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about that, and then I'm going to tell you a story, if I've got time, about how I came to publishing this book, creating the method, and then I'm going to share with you an opportunity to come and have a deeper immersion experience with me. So you probably already know, my name is Tara Love Perry. Let's see if I can work this. And this is the question I ask people. What would happen? What would your life be like if you could love yourself as unconditionally as you wish others to love you?
For complimentary resources from my book, my complimentary e-course, The Power of the Question, or recommended reads, go to www.thequestion.com/resources. For more information on my coaching or mentoring, go to www.bernardo-moya.com.
So just take a deep breath for a moment and think and feel about that. What would be possible if you loved yourself unconditionally? I mean everywhere. So I grew up in a very spiritual environment. I had quite an unusual childhood. Back in 1971, my mum and dad were running around London with an enlightened 13-year-old Indian master who spoke about knowledge, self-knowledge and truth. And my mum and dad were working on an ashram. Do you all know what an ashram is? It's like a what do you call it? Like a place where you can come and learn spiritual teachings. You can come together with like-minded souls. So my mum and dad actually conceived me whilst working on this ashram for this 13-year-old enlightened guru who'd just come from London. And so I grew up in this whole community of people who were always looking for that connection to truth. Absolute truth, not just personal beliefs. I mean absolute truth, the source of who we are. And to reveal this truth to the world. They wanted peace on earth. And so I grew up in this environment, and back in the day when yoga wasn't even a thing yet, back when nobody else was a vegetarian, back when, my mum and dad were practicing meditation, and I was a super weird kid in school, like no one did that stuff back then. But it meant that I had this quite interesting upbringing in that it was all about love, it was all about peace, it was all about truth. And I was a really psychic little kid. Does any of you, when you're a little kid, feel like you could see, hear, and feel things that maybe the grown-ups weren't really talking about? Does anybody else feel like Perhaps that was you as a little kid. Like, you're switched on. You can almost see what's not being said in the room. You can feel what's happening even if you don't understand. Do you know what I'm talking about? Can you feel other people's feelings? We've got empaths in the room. Anybody feel other people's feelings? Put your hand up. Yeah, that's like nearly all of you again. I believe that all children are born wide open, fully activated, fully conscious, with all these gifts there, except we just get them shut down at some point, right? So you probably had the kind of upbringing where unless somebody validated you, you didn't know that that was normal, so you squash it, you hide it, or you struggle with it, like I did. I struggled with it, and I didn't realise that I was literally seeing people's energy fields. I could read their minds, I could see their soul memories, their past life memories. I could see all of their light and all of their truth and who they truly were, and I could see all of their pain, their blocks, their brokenness, their lost spirit. Does anybody in the room see spirits? Or see energy of any kind? Yeah, a few people, yeah? So I could see a person's, not like a ghost or something, but where a person's spirit was not fully connected into their body. So they look like they're here, but they're not, they're really somewhere else. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like a part of you is here, but a part of you really isn't. Because this world is really hectic, right? Really intense. The misery. Quite intense. There's a lot of people in pain. There's a lot of people suffering. And all of you empathic, sensitive souls can feel that. But what do you do with it? So I found that incredibly hard. I was immensely sensitive. And I just basically left. I was out of my body most of the time. And I actually, despite being in this community of love and truth, I just did not want to be alive. I could not deal with human people because what my mum and dad were doing, and they were beautiful people and they loved me so much, but that human version of love, with the breakups, with the sleeping with each other's partners, with the lies, with people not telling the truth of what's really going on inside of them, with all of this chaos happening in human love relationships, compared to what I was experiencing in this environment of love and truth and bliss with my master, was like a massive gap. Does anyone have that experience of like a spiritual love or God-like love that you get in moments? Like that flash where you go, I feel so connected. But then when you're in, or when you're meditating, but then when you're in the world, connecting with other human beings, it's like, where's all the love gone? Or it feels really shallow, or it feels really temporary. And you actually, if you told the truth, how connected and how loved do you feel? So that just made me go, cut this, I'm leaving. I don't want to be in this body. As a teenager, I was totally suicidal. And that kept coming back to me in my life again and again. Dark moments where I was like, I just don't feel genuinely loved. Does anybody else know what I'm talking about? You don't have to put your hand up because I know that it's deep and private and personal to you. So what happened? Well, I end up becoming a soul reader. I end up discovering that actually I've got this crazy gift that's quite useful to other people, and they wanted to come and have their soul read by me. And so in reading people's soul, what does that mean, by the way? That means I can... Does everybody understand what the soul is? It's like a library of everything that's ever happened to you, ever. Mm-hmm. A library of your spirit's journey through different incarnations, so here you are now. So whatever you believe, it's okay. But essentially, I could see everything about a person, what was happening in their mind, the way that their mind worked, what they chose to do, and what they chose to incarnate in this planet for, what they chose to be in this life. What was happening, I could look at their ancestral lineage on their mother's side, their ancestral lineage on their father's side, and see all of that genetic conditioning bred into a person. And then I see this human being struggling with all of their light and all of their divinity and all of their gifts and all of their truth, and yet struggling to be in this human body, dealing with all these conditions, dealing with the fact that there's so many problems on this planet, and where do you fit in? So I was like, okay, this is pretty mean. I just tell people what's wrong with them or tell people what their potential is. But how do I help somebody fully embody all that they are? So I asked for help. And help came And over a period of a couple of years of me working with many, hundreds, thousands, even clients, this method came together, which I now call, you can see why I don't have slides. These are my kids and my dog. Basically, this method came together that enabled a person, instead of going to find that most powerful thing in the whole universe that can heal their heart and mend all their pain, that love, is to actually tap in, tune into the unconditional love inside of you, and then include you. So to embody that love. And what does embody mean? It means you become the love that you already are. Now, your ego brain can't cope with that. You've been designed and created specifically to know that you are a separate human being in a separate human body. And you need that, right? So you can be normal, you can operate, you can have an experience. But the fact is, we're not separate. But there's many parts of us inside that have become separated, that have fallen down the hole, that have fallen in the gaps. So how do we mend that bridge?
For more information on collaborating, partnering, sponsoring, supporting, or speaking at any of our events, or finding out more about our legacy clubs, go to www.thebestyou.co. If you're interested in finding out more about the amazing content we have, please go to www.thebestyou.online and get your 14-day free trial now.
Are you following me? Do you know what I'm talking about? You can feel it, right? You know your own story better than anybody else. Better than I can know your story, better than the closest people that love you in your life can ever know your story. So in reading these people, I was shown a method to help you tap into your own source and then use that unconditional love like a tool, like an everyday tool, to go to those places where you are freaking out, to go to those places where you're screaming, to go to those places where you're lonely and broken and lost, or feel abandoned, or feel unmet, unheard, unvalued. And it's so profound because it's not something I read in a book. It's not something like I just made up because I thought I was clever. This stuff comes straight from divinity. I put it into a structured method so that people could understand it. And you can literally take 7 steps of transformational self-love and use it for anything. Now, I want to tell you a quick story about a young lady. I had a longer talk prepared, but I'm just going to flip through the slides. There's my kids and my dog. There's a beautiful quote from Rumi. There's a relationship I haven't got time to tell you about. And, oh yeah, this is what's happening at the moment. I'm just speaking on stages and traveling around the world. I've been teaching this for 10 years. I've been teaching this self-love method for 10 years. And it's taken me to many beautiful places. And I've stood on stages with this incredible woman, Brandon Bays. Anybody know Brandon Bays of The Journey? Like, she's one of my heroes. So in the last couple of years, I've been having the most incredible journey. Marie Diamond of The Secret, all these beautiful people traveling all over the world to bring this method to as many people as possible. And in this year, it's my wish, it's my greatest desire to reach 1 million people minimum and help spread this message of self-love so that we can transform our own lives and that we can bring more love to the planet. Does anybody else have a similar dream? They just want more love on this planet. It would just sort everything out, wouldn't it, right? So what if you could just do that for you? What if you didn't have to save everybody else? What if the only person you had to save was you? That was it. It's the hardest thing in the world, isn't it? Most challenging thing in the world, because if it was easy, we would have done it by now. Right? We're the last place we look. It's much easier to go and coach everybody else. You try loving yourself unconditionally. So I'm going to invite you to that challenge today. But this young lady, she's called Abby Flynn. This last March, I had an event in Brighton. I was doing a 2-day event, taking people through this self-love immersion experience. And she was in the audience, and she had been told like a few days before I met her, that she had 3 weeks to live. This girl's 28 years old. She's an incredible singer. She's absolutely beautiful. And she'd gone through 2 years of chemotherapy. This was her. She had a 21 centimetre cancerous tumour in her chest. She had done 5 types of chemo. They didn't know what to do with her. They said, we don't think you've got more than about 3 weeks to live. So she came to the self-love immersion. I took her through the experience. She went home. She went through a massive healing experience. She then came on and joined me for another training that I do that's more intense for people who are really, want to go there. She did this training for 4 days. When she went back to the hospital 2 months later for her test, there was no cancer left. It had completely disappeared, literally in a couple of months. And the tumour had done the impossible that the hospital says is impossible. And it had shrunk from 21 centimetres to 8. And the hospital was like, we don't know what you've done, but we think you should just keep doing it. But we also don't really believe these test results. Can you come back next month? And it's horrible having these tests. Has anybody ever gone through chemo? Has anybody ever had cancer in here? You'll know it's a horrible process. So she went back and had the tests again. She was really nervous. And she called me up the minute she got out of the hospital and she said, Tara, it's now 7 centimetres and there's still no cancer. And that's just like, they just couldn't believe it. Unheard of. So this young woman, this is her now. We just had a retreat in Bali recently and we had this amazing, amazing time. And she's joined the team. She's joining me as with all of us, like a growing family that I call self-love evolutionists, here to change the world with self-love. And she's actually going to be singing at an event that I'm going to be doing really soon. So have I got time? Have I got like 3 more minutes? I can show this. Yeah? Okay, cool. So... Oh, it needs sound.
I've learned so much. I put my hand up and I got chosen to go on stage and work with Tara. And I love the process, and the process has really sunk in so much. I really feel it's really going to give me the transformation that I was looking for when I came here. I feel like these 2 days have been absolutely amazing and really worth it for me.
This is an amazing event. It's life transforming. It's transformed my life, and it has transformed the lives of all my friends who have come.
I just felt so much happiness. I felt so connected with everybody in the room, the whole process. It's been wonderful. It's been a wonderful, positive experience. It's been lovely. And meeting lots of wonderful, nice new people, yeah.
We're always going to do the next perfect thing in our job and how we're going to perform a certain way. But we actually don't go back within and actually think about the resources that we have within ourselves to be that resourceful and that person that can be really effective to the world.
The thing is, it all starts with loving ourselves.
It's the one missing thing that people don't focus on, and it's the core of everything. It's what everything starts with.
And what she does, she reminds us of what we are. She shows us what we are. She allows us to experience it. And that's what she did. She just, with her words, just moving us through the different experiences. She allowed us to feel, see, and experience who we truly are.
I feel more free. I feel stronger. It's amazing.
Everybody should know that. It's absolutely wonderful for yourself, not for other people, but it's really for personal self-growth and investing in yourself. It's absolutely amazing. Come with no expectations and see what you achieve. Because I didn't have any, and what I've gained is a world of beautiful experiences.
And I don't think anybody would come on this course and regret coming on it. I think everyone should give it a go.
You will not come away the same person at all.
You need to be here. Don't question it, just come.
Oh, that's so beautiful. So essentially, what's the way? What's the how to connect your human with your divine? To connect all the conditions that you've been taught, that have been bred into you, with the unconditional. It is unconditional self-love. I want to give you a free book. If anybody wants to receive this book for free in your inbox today, so that you can learn this 7-step method, please go and give your email address to the girls at the back of the room. And if you would like to come to a one-day self-love immersion in London on the 2nd of March, it's just down the road. The workshop's usually £97, and I want to give it to you for £19 today. Okay? So you can come and have the full experience, learn the method, and take it home with you and transform your life. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. Please give yourself a huge round of applause. And I want you to take it home right here, because you're the one that matters. Just give your hearts a little rub and say, well done, me. Thank you, me. Thank you, everybody.
For more information, go to www.thebestyou.co.